first confirmed casualty of the Lions tour, folks, before it even got underway. Zander Fagerson is out with a calf injury, meaning Irishman, Aussie-connected Irishman. Finlay Bealham has been called up as his replacement, so that's devastating news for Zander, because you felt like at 29 years old, he's kind of getting into the peak of his powers, and I mean, his club side scrum didn't look the same without him there. This would have been a perfect chance for him to shine in the red jersey, but not to be. And he's not going to be the last. There are other guys who are still in doubt. Some of the Leinster lads, the likes of Tadhg Furlong in particular, hasn't played rugby for a wee while now. I think they're still assessing some of the other Leinster lads ahead of the URC final this coming weekend. Josh van der Fleer, Hugo Keenan and Gary Ringrose have all got niggling injuries as well, but I don't think there's any suspicion that any of those guys will miss the tour just yet, although Furlong, with the limited amount of rugby he's played in the last, goodness, how is it long now? 12 months? 18 months? It feels like it's been a while since we've seen him kind of playing regularly week in, week out. He seems to be the one that there is the biggest question mark over. There are a couple of Englishmen also in the training squad with Andy Farrell's Lions, Jamie George and Asha Apokafajua. Both these guys have joined up with the training squad, so potentially with Apokafajua the prop stocks being bolstered there, and that maybe feeds into a little bit more of the doubt about Furlong going forward. And then Jamie George, I mean, he can only have missed out on Lions selection by a whisker. With a couple of the Lions guys still with the Leinster squad, it makes sense to have him in there to help with the training numbers, and I think essentially signals that he would be the next cab off the rank. On the other side of the fence is the Aussies. They've got a few guys with doubts and have missed a bit of rugby. Joseph Akuso-Soali'i, he's had a jaw fracture for since about halfway through the Super Rugby season. I think by all accounts he's supposed to be available for the Lions, as initially his injury was looking to be a bit worse than it ended up being. So fingers crossed that guy is fit and available, because he is their big gun kind of poster boy player. Max Jorgensen, he got injured at the very start of Super Rugby, but is possibly in contention to play the British and Irish Lions if he can get himself back fit, but he will not have a lot of match sharpness, having not played any rugby for a long time. Lukan Salakaia-Loto would certainly be a big bit of bulky timber to add to the second row, but that guy hasn't played Super Rugby in quite a few weeks. And then potentially Will Skelton, not so much an injury concern, but the fact that La Rochelle have not made the knockout stages of the top 14 means he is potentially one guy who is available a bit earlier than expected. So it'll be interesting to see if Joe Schmidt gets him on the phone and gets him on a plane to come back down to Australia, because with the propping stocks being what they are with the Lions at the moment, having guys seemingly dropping like flies, and some pretty big units in the Aussie front row, potentially with Skelton there in the second row, and if Salakaia-Loto can get back fit, those guys can both rotate. That could be one area they look to put the Lions guys under a bit of pressure, but we will see. As I said, there's still games to be played before the first Lions test match, so there will be more guys who get injured between now and then, which will be devastating for those guys, but it'll be an opportunity for someone else. So in this case, congratulations to Finlay Bealham. And commiserations to Zander Fagerson. As I said, I think this would have been a great chance for him to shine. But you guys let us know your thoughts. If you want Lions jerseys or Wallabies jerseys ahead of the upcoming tour, check out the Lions store and the Wallabies store down in the description. They're both affiliates of the channel. Get yourself some gear. I'm actually thinking I maybe should have grabbed myself a Lions jacket instead of a Lions jersey, because it's rather brisk here in New Zealand right now. But you guys take care. They have jackets as well. And I'll talk to you guys again soon. See you later.